Hello Aquarius, welcome to your May 2021 tarot reading. I am going to use Major Arcanas, and I have two decks here. I have the Santa Muerte and the Murder of Crow Tarot. Major Arcanas only. We'll use this to get the major energy influence for the month. This is the Crow Tarot. We'll be using this to get the body of your reading. And while I shuffle all those decks, we'll talk about what's going on in the cosmos because there is quite a bit of activity. And should we need any clarifiers, this is the Line Strider Tarot, and that's what we will be using today for all of that. So let's jump into it because there's a lot here. We started off most of this spring relatively calm and quiet in the cosmos. We had 6 weeks of basically nothing happening, no retrogrades, just a calm, usual march of all of the planets in their cycles, moving through the signs like they always do. But then on April 27th, Pluto went retrograde. Pluto, the planet of transformation, death, and rebirth, and that is exactly what is happening for many of us. And with what is kind of happening and playing out is we have Saturn going retrograde on May 23rd. We will be feeling the pre-retrograde shadow phase starting roughly the weekend of May 13th. 13th, 14th, 15th, whatever that weekend is. We will be starting to feel those energies coming in. Now, Saturn in retrograde is going to be bringing in more recalibration of karma. Things are going to start moving more in karmic cycles. But because of all of this recalibration, we may be feeling like we are being blocked. We are stuck. We're not going anywhere. And that is because transformation does take time. Whether it is us transforming habits, we are transforming into new careers, new people, we're transforming inner work, shadow work, we're doing all of that not so fun stuff. We're clearing out all that yuck and gunk to make room for the newness that is coming in. And both Pluto and Saturn will go direct the first week and a half in October. So we are going to sit with this energy throughout the entirety of the summer. And unfortunately, that may cause some friction and frustration, but it's not too bad. What is going to cause friction and frustration is Mercury going retrograde on May 29th. Now, we will feel that pre-retrograde shadow phase coming in roughly the weekend of May 19th. And this one's going to be a doozy because Mercury is going to be in the sign of Gemini during this retrograde. The sun is going to be in Gemini, and Mercury rules Gemini. And Mercury is all about communication. That's why Mercury retrograde throws us for such a loop. And Mercury retrograde happens roughly 3 times a year. The bonus is once we get through this Mercury retrograde, we will only have one more left, and that one will happen later on. I believe it is late October into November. So we're going to have a period of time through the majority of the summer where communications can be quite clear. Now, with Mercury going retrograde in the sign of Gemini, really watch your wording, watch your communications, make sure there's nothing that can be mistaken, misconstrued, anything like that in your communications. Double, triple check, be extra cautious. Make sure you're sending your messages to the right person. Make sure you've got the right email address, the right text, the right phone number. Make sure you're calling the right person and you don't accidentally call your mom when you meant to call your boyfriend and let loose with maybe how you're feeling. That is the energy that is coming in with this Mercury retrograde. Now, before we reach all of the wonderful retrograde, I want to say goodness, but it's not really good. Seems like a lot, right? Well, on May 8th, the planet of Venus, the planet of love and how we feel love, left Taurus, which is where it is comfortable. And that is exactly how you may have been feeling in your love life, in your romantic life. Things were cozy, things were comfortable. Well, guess what? Venus moved into the sign of Gemini. Yeah, it's a lot, guys. Gemini is a fellow air sign, just like you. Geminis are a little bit all over the place. And even though Geminis can be a little all over the place, the emphasis on this go around with Venus being in Gemini is not necessarily all over the place with the ugly, evil twin rearing its head. There's not as much of that happening. It's more about the fun, flirtatious, spontaneous type energy, the wanting some adventure. So if you're committed, just make sure that adventure's with your committed half. And don't be stepping out. That's just not cool shit, okay? So we had that happen on May 11th. We have the new moon in Taurus. What does the new moon in Taurus want us to do? It wants us to get grounded, to stay calm, and that kind of scares me a little bit when that's in the forecast, because for me, there's a little bit of a signal of there might be some drama cropping up, even though drama does not necessarily crop up around a new moon. That's usually full moon stuff. New moons are about new beginnings and calling in new things. Now, that may have us feeling a little bit panicked and panicking, which is why we need to stay calm. And that is why we need to get and stay grounded throughout the entirety of this new moon, which we will be feeling this energy coming in a little bit on Sunday, May 9th, definitely May 10th, May 11th. The moon is at its apex at around noon Standard Eastern Time, which is Toronto and New York time zone for a quick reference. And we will feel that energy for another day, day and a half, roughly. 2 days, you could get away with doing your manifestations about 2 days after. And what this moon wants us to be manifesting, bringing in, and kind of wanting us to bring in for a new cycle is it wants us to get explicitly clear on things that are tangible that we want to bring in. Taurus has a big focus on things like money, investments, not quite as much about jobs, but because it is earth energy and it is all things tangible. Employment, if you want to switch your job, switch your career, this is when you get very explicitly clear on how you want to bring that in, what you want to bring in, and how, like what steps you need to take. So there is a lot of new type energy coming in with that. It wants us to be super clear. Now, shortly after the new moon, we're going to start feeling some of that pre-retrograde energy, but we also have Jupiter moving into the sign of Pisces. It's moving out of Aquarius and it's moving into the sign of Pisces. And that may make us feel a little bit daydreamy, and that this means that Jupiter is moving out of your sign Aquarius and moving into Pisces, and it's watery and a little more emotion based, and you don't do well. People say Capricorn of the astrology are the least feeling. Well, that's not true. They feel, they just don't show it. You, on the other hand, have a tendency to be a little bit detached, okay, maybe a whole lot detached from your emotions. While I keep talking, there's still more to come in the cosmos. But while we talk, let's start shuffling the cards. Let's get the major energies for Aquarius for May 2021. Please and thank you. Don't ever forget to use your manners, regardless of where you're at, whether it's your tarot cards or it is the person at the drive-thru. I'll talk about these cards in just a moment. Like I said, we do have, oh my goodness, you have a double confirmation here. Double major arcana, same card. like I said, we'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's get our messages for Aquarius for the month of May, please and thank you. Yeah, please use your manners, whether it's with your tarot cards, asking spirit for answers, or the person serving you in the drive-thru. Use your manners, okay? Just do it. It costs nothing, and it's good karma to do so. Speaking of karma needing to be rebalanced, that is what this Saturn retrograde is going to be about. I know I touched upon that. So once we get through and get comfortable with Jupiter being in the sign of Pisces, we end up getting a double whammy new moon, or full moon, actually a triple whammy. It's a super moon, which means it is a measurable distance closer to Earth. Its energies are amplified, and it is going to be in the sign of Sagittarius, so a little bit more comfortable for you, Aquarius. But if you have a lot of Sagittarius, Taurus, Gemini, what else is going to be affected? Yeah, Gemini is going to get a bit of a double whammy with this moon, because the sun will be in Gemini, so Geminis are going to get it. Trust me, I'm a Gemini. I'm not looking forward to this moon either, because it has, oh my goodness, Aquarius, I want to be you this month. It has an eclipse, and eclipses are extra emotional. So not only do we have the supercharged full moon happening, we have it in air sign. So you may be feeling some of that. If you have Sagittarius, Gemini, Taurus, it's a double whammy. And then if eclipses affect you, there is a full lunar eclipse happening that night, October. I'm just looking at my notes here, and I just saw October, which is when Saturn and Pluto retrogrades end. And that is when we are going to be seeing the full effects of karma playing out. If we haven't already seen it playing out, we will be seeing it play out in October. That's when things are really going to be finished shifting. But back to this full moon with the eclipse. First of all, with the full moon being in Sagittarius, it wants us to clear out clutter. It wants us to make room and really examine our beliefs and start making some informed decisions. Full moons are always about releasing. So journal things out if you have to. Rip it, burn it, whatever works best for you. Do your smudging, do your cleansing, all of that with the full moon. But with the eclipse, it wants us to close out things that we have left unfinished. Whether it's a book, a project, a job, a relationship, close that out, finish the book, or put it away, donate it, and have it be gone. If it's a project, finish the project or delegate it to somebody else. Get things completed, get things finished for this eclipse season, because there's going to be a lot of things being brought in afterwards, particularly once we get through these retrogrades. Mercury retrograde ends June 22nd. There will be a 10 to 14 day post retrograde phase afterwards, but once we get through this full moon eclipse, there is a new moon solar eclipse on June 10th that gets us through this eclipse season. We will have another one later on in the fall. Once we get through this Mercury retrograde, we're done 2 out of the 3. We won't have another one until later this fall. So that will help clear up communications for most of the summer. But in the meantime, be so abundantly careful with your communications at the end of the month and all through June. So to get through all of this major energy, particularly that energy with the emotional attachments and uprising of emotions, you're going to need some strength to get through it. Now, these are your major energies that are coming through for the month of May for you. You're going to need some strength, and you're going to do better if you can not only dig into your inner reserves of strength, but to do so gracefully and gently. Okay, Aquarius, gentle. Gentle's the key word here. the figure does not overpower usually it's a lion, in this case, a dragon. The figure is not overpowering with sheer brute force. It is doing so with a gentle willpower in taming the beast. And that is something you are going to need to keep in mind, Aquarius. You don't have to overpower people or emotions. You can be gentle with yourself and with others. Please keep that in mind. Now, I am going to show you both of these cards at once because they are the same card. Now, the Strength card, it's a number 8. You have 2 9s, 10, and 19, and 20, and 20. So there's a little bit of numerology going on here. If you want to Google those numbers, Google 999, 99 as a master angel number. 10s are about completion. 20, the Judgment card, which is what we're going to talk about next, is the second to last of the major arcana. So this is a completion of cycles. There is a definite completing of a cycle here for you, Aquarius. So let's talk about the Judgment card, or cards. You got 2 of them, 2 different decks at the same time. This is completion of a cycle, but this is also being called to take action. And this taking action, remember, don't run roughshod over whatever it is you need to take action with. Do it with grace and willpower. There's nothing here about keeping things secret, which is perfect, but you don't have to necessarily tell everybody your plans, but you might be called to take action in a specific area. We'll double check. We'll dig into that. I've got the Line Strider Tarot ready to go, and we can ask what you need to take action on. But let's start off with the body of the read. While you are in this needing to take action phase, you might be feeling really stressed, worried, and full of anxiety, causing you to lose sleep at night. This is the 9 of Swords. The 9 of Swords, being air energy, talks about things playing out in our mind. So this is something that is weighing heavy on your mind. We can dig into this a little bit too. I have a funny feeling it might be emotions, because a lot of other things you deal with fairly easily. Emotions, not so much. We have another 9 with the 9 of Wands. This is the wounded warrior. Regardless of how your wounds have been afflicted or how they affect you, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, you pick yourself up to get back on your horse and fight again. This is a picking up of pieces and moving on, and this is going to require the Strength card to come in. Getting through this worry and anxiety while you pick things back up and move on. And move forward. There's a bit of progression with that card. And while you are moving through that energy, give yourself some love. Page of Cups here. So the Page of Cups, this, as you can see, has the crab here. So there is some Cancerian energy coming in, and Cancerian energy is all about emotions. There's a reason why the moon rules over the sign of Cancer. Cancer and the moon talk about how we feel and our emotions. Now, with the Page of Cups, page being a court, the youth of the court card, and it is a court card, there is a renewal or a possible message coming in regards to something that you do have an emotional attachment to. And there's the starfish there as well, and there is a little bit of the star energy with starfish. Now, the Star card is your energy, and it talks about hopes, dreams, and wishes. So maybe you are wishing for something that can be an emotional attachment to come in. If not, this could be some intuition coming in, some potential psychic gifts coming in, and this is likely to be around Jupiter going into Pisces, just with the water energy coming in. Now, to end off the month, once I get through these cards, these last 2 cards, you may not want to move into June. We have the second happiest card in the deck. Now this is Cups energy again, so this is what we are feeling, but this is completion. It's a 10. So you have 9, 9, and a 10. So whatever this is that you are feeling completion or completed, whatever makes you feel completed, it is rainbows, puppies, kittens, and all that. It is, you have plenty of cups, and there's plenty in those cups to go around, share. Wishes, hopes, dreams have come true. This is amazing energy to end the month. And what could be even better than the 10 of Cups? Because we do have one more card. That's right. We have the happiest card in the deck. This is completion. This is happiness and joy. This is ×2. You have the major arcana and the minor arcana of the same energy coming in to end the month. Now, speaking of end of the month, I'm going to jump in this real quick. I am doing a contest. So whatever sign for the monthly reading and the monthly reading alone that has the most views and interactions will get bonus readings for the month of June. So like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. I do daily readings. I also do monthly readings. I also do moon readings. You never know, it might be a pick a card, might be a pick a pile, it might be a tarot reading while I talk about what's going on with that moon cycle. Now, the full moon, I'm not sure what I'm doing yet. There's an eclipse in there. There's got to be something special that happens. So hit that notification bell so you know when it gets released. Make sure you view it. Make sure you send and share this with other people. As long as they view it through the link, it counts as a view, and therefore the more views your sign gets, the better your chances are that your sign gets bonus readings. Okay, so we want to talk about what are these judgment cards all about? What are you guys taking action on? 3 of Pentacles. This is something you have been working on, working towards. Again, that's very individual as to what that is that you're going to be working on. Let's see if we can get one more card. Sometimes the line starter likes to be camera shy and can take a little bit of shuffling. But for personal readings, if you want to dig in a lot more, I do personal readings. So please contact me. You can send me a message through here, or you can send me a DM on Facebook. I do have North of 40 Tarot page on Facebook. Contact me for more information if you wish to talk about a personal reading. All right, anything else for this 3 of Pentacles judgment combination? Just remember, there is some strength that you are going to be needing. Interesting. You've got 3 of the Kings here. So there's some masculine energy coming in. King of Swords, King of Pentacles, King of Cups, and then the Queen of Pentacles. So you have a couple. This is what you're working towards. You're working towards a loving, committed couple that gives you all the feels, but there is intelligence and an intellectual connection as well. I have a funny feeling that, let's clarify the 9 of Swords. What is Aquarius worried about? I feel like that is what you are worried about, is this connection. It's something you've been working on. So it's not a brand new connection. There were no aces around. So this is something you've been working on, working towards for a while. And you may have to make that judgment call as to whether you take this to the next step or not. They didn't fall all the way out. Let's see if they come out again. What is Aquarius worried about? What is Aquarius worried about? Please clarify it. The Tower. You're worried about something shocking happening. And that's a major energy. That's going to really rock your foundation. Okay. Okay, double confirmation here. Page of Cups. You might be wanting a spark or renewal of a commitment. Karma's got to balance itself. There's a little more judgment and justice together can also talk about getting a final answer, a final word. You might have to have a period of waiting or look at something from a different perspective to see the stability. Now there's Nine of Pentacles. There is some independence coming in here. The Moon. There's something that you didn't see, and that goes with the Hanged Man. Look at something from a different perspective and you will uncover what is being hidden. And yes, you have what it takes to rise up to the challenge, which is going to help you move into calmer waters. You are going to need to take that blindfold off and make an intellectual decision. There's your informed decision coming in with the full moon. It's going to take a lot of strength to get there. Okay, ending of a cycle with your Emperor. Wishes and dreams coming true. Not necessarily the love reading you were looking for, I'm sorry, but it looks like a potential breakup, but by the end of the month you're going to have forgotten completely about it, because there is, like I said, rainbows, puppies and kittens in, and that is going to extend into June. That is just such strong major energy. It is, it's happy. I'm surprised the Four of Swords didn't come out. I feel this is more of a taking a break instead of an actual break up. Tower card again. You know what? Let's try. Break up, or just a break that maybe you didn't see coming. Let's see if we can get an answer that way. And that applies obviously if you are in a relationship already. Hanged Man. Yeah, you got to look at something differently. Now, if you are not in a committed relationship, here's the Two of Swords. You know what this is all about. You already know. I really shouldn't even be shuffling. You know. You just don't care to see it. Yeah, you don't care to see what it is you need to see, and what you need to see is from a different perspective, because the Two of Swords and the Hanged Man came out again. Now you do have the Ace of Wands, so there could be a message that quickly comes in, or a spark of creativity that comes in to help you make this decision. Celebratory energy. You may be thinking things are heading one way. There's that Tower again. It's going to shake you. You don't see it coming. Whatever it is, you're not seeing it coming. And I do feel that is probably more of an individual type energy, and I'm not going to get the answers regardless of how much I shuffle. So I am going to leave it here for you, Aquarius. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that notification bell. And I'm going to leave it here and talk to you soon.